This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti Ololade. The major headlines. Honorable Adewale calls for stronger protection against tech-enabled gender-based violence. Choir reaches out to widows in Ifako. Abduction surge. Northern governors demand mining suspension. Unveiled 228 billion naira security fund. Tinubu plans replacement as defense minister resigns. Adeleke dumps PDP, blames party's national crisis. Sports. CAF under 15. Nigeria eyes semi-final spot in crucial Benin clash. The Tigers walk tightrope in World Cup qualifiers. Entertainment. I arrested lady who secretly filmed me at the gym in Kinchi Blessing. I'm okay with Mr. Easy being friends with his exes, Temi Ajibade. News in detail. Honorable Adewale calls for stronger protection against tech-enabled gender-based violence. Honorable Adewale Temtokwe Adedeji, the lawmaker representing Ifako constituency 01 in the Lagos State House of Assembly, has urged authorities to strengthen protection and support for victims of gender-based violence, including technology-facilitated abuse. Speaking at a community town hall meeting organized in partnership with the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency on ending technology-facilitated sexual and gender-based violence in the Ifako local government. Honorable Adedeji said GBV remains a pressing social challenge affecting women, girls, boys, and vulnerable individuals, including men. He highlighted that digital platforms are increasingly used for harassment, cyberbullying, intimidation, and other forms of abuse. Survivors need safe spaces, swift justice, and community-packed support, he said. Whether the abuse happens offline or online, the impact is real. We must stand as a united community to protect victims and hold offenders accountable. The lawmaker also encouraged victims of domestic violence to speak out, emphasizing that every survivor deserves to be heard, believed, and protected.
First of all, let me commend the Lagos State government, domestic gender-based violence agencies, particularly the ES standing right next to me, for this beautiful initiative. Lagos State government is doing everything possible to ensure that we intimate people on the gender violence that is based in all communities, particularly at the top 5, which my local government falls under. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to have them here to come and enlighten the people on how things can be managed in the family. Gender-based violence is not just about the women, it also has to do with the men. Particularly, we just celebrated International Men's Day, and it's about time for men to start coming out as well to speak. We've had series of situations where men as well have been abused, both verbally, physically, they've been assaulted by women, and there's a stigma that if you come out to talk, you're weak. And I like what they're doing, and it's a very good campaign, to ensure that we also come to light to speak about the gender violence and domestic violence across the state. And it's a good thing to have them in our local government, and I'm happy that the people actually turned out also from them. So I must commend again the ES. The ES has been a fantastic job. I think it's a 16-day program where they started on the, I think, 25th, and this is one of the days. December 1st happens to be the Ifako day, and I think they still have other days to go. And they are doing their best, possible best. I saw them yesterday with the police officers, where, we have people, our so-called service officers, that they're also being talked to about gender, bearing in mind the nature of the job, the frustration that comes with it, and it's good. So they're putting across all the states, all the local governments in the states, and then, all communities in the states as well, to ensure that they pass the message across, and to ensure that the gender violence and gender-based violence is reduced, especially the sexual aspect of it is reduced across the state. And they're doing a good job, and I'm sure within the nearest future they would have enlightened a lot of people and they would have prosecuted as many as possible to serve as deterrent to other people who are still involved in it. So yes, they're doing a very good job, and I'm very sure they will do a better job.
Mrs. Titilayo Vivo Adeniyi, Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, praised Honorable Adewale Temitope for his unwavering support and thanked him for ensuring a strong turnout at the event. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency continues to lead efforts to combat GBV in all its forms. Choir reaches out to widows in Ifako. Hundreds of widows gathered yesterday at the local community center for the Choir Widows Outreach, an event organized by Honorable Kamaldeen Olanireti under the theme Let the Widows Smile. The program provided material support, encouragement, and a sense of belonging to widows across the constituency. In his keynote address, Honorable Akinwande thanked the community for its participation and stressed the importance of standing together in times of loss. He expressed gratitude to local leaders who helped make the event possible, including Honorable Usman Amzat, Chairman of the Ifako local government, Honorable Adewale Temitope Adedeji, Representative of Constituency 01, Honorable Adeyemi Olabinjo, Member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Razak Aruku, the lawmaker's political mentor, Sunday Adekunle Shobola Elele and Pepe. The lawmaker also acknowledged the contributions of Ward C2 Councillor, Honorable Ibrahim Adenekon, Mama Olajuku, and other partners who assisted in packaging and distributing the outreach items. We are here because we care about our widows, our orphans, and the vulnerable in our community, Honorable Akinwande said. The event concluded with a prayer for the widows, asking God to grant them strength, peace, and joy. Gifts and food parcels were presented to each beneficiary, reinforcing the message that they are not alone.
Ọdún tó ń bọ̀ kó lọ jẹ́ kó lè ṣe jù báyìí lọ. Ọdún tó ń bọ̀ kó má ṣe táwọ́ ní kó má ṣe tàràkà. Àwọn aláàánú ẹ̀ kó lọ ń fàyè gbàwọ́ náà jù báyìí lọ.
Abduction surge. Northern governors demand mining suspension. Unveiled 228 billion naira security fund. Northern governors and traditional rulers on Monday called for a 6-month suspension of mining activities across the region, blaming illegal mining for the worsening insecurity in many states. The Northern leaders also announced plans to mobilize 228 billion naira to fight bandits terrorizing communities across the region. Under the arrangement, each state and its local governments will contribute 1 billion naira monthly to be deducted at source under an agreed framework. This means that the 19 northern states will raise 228 billion naira annually. They said the fund will provide sustainable financing for joint operations, intelligence-driven interventions, and coordinated security responses across the north. These were contained in a communique issued after a joint meeting of the Northern State Governors Forum and the Northern Traditional Rulers Council held at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim House, Kaduna. In recent weeks, multiple schools raids have rocked the region, leaving families traumatized and several communities deserted. Tinubu plans replacement as Defense Minister resigns. President Bola Tinubu is set to name a new Minister of Defense this week, following the sudden resignation of the incumbent Badaru Abubakar, who quit the cabinet on health grounds. Abubakar's resignation, which takes immediate effect, was conveyed in a letter dated December 1 and addressed to the president. The development was announced in a statement issued Monday evening by Tinubu's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. In a letter dated December 1 sent to President Bola Tinubu, Abubakar said he was quitting on health grounds, the statement read. President Tinubu has accepted resignation and thanked Abubakar for his services to the nation. President Tinubu will likely inform the Senate of Badaru's successor later this week, it added, indicating that the process to replace the minister is already underway. Abubakar, 68, served as a 2-term governor of Jigawa State from 2015 to 2023 before his appointment as Minister of Defense on August 24, 2023. Adeleke dumps PDP. blames party's national crisis. Governor of Osun State Ademola Adeleke has formally resigned from the People's Democratic Party, citing persistent leadership turmoil at the party's national level. In a statement shared on his Instagram page late on Monday night, Adeleke confirmed that he submitted the resignation to party officials in Sagba Abogunde Ward 2 Eden North local government on November 4, 2025. He stated, "Due to the ongoing crisis within the leadership of the People's Democratic Party at the national level, I officially conveyed my resignation letter as a member to the party leadership in Sagba Abogunde Ward 2 Eden North local government on November 4, 2025. I thank the party and its many members and supporters for the opportunity they have provided me, first as the Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and now as Governor of Osun State." Aviation tax removal requires government consensus, says Keyamo. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has stated that the removal of taxes in the aviation sector cannot be decided by one individual, noting that such policies are subject to collective government approval and legislative review. He said this at an event in Abuja on Monday, celebrating 100 years of aviation in Nigeria. The minister clarified that despite industry pressure over multiple taxation, tax removal lies beyond the jurisdiction of the Aviation Ministry alone. He stressed that statutory levies require input from key institutions, including the Ministry of Finance, tax authorities, and the National Assembly. You can see that I am not the owner of Nigeria. There's a Ministry of Finance, there's a tax authority. The Ministry of Aviation cannot wake up overnight and say, "I'm removing taxes." It's a whole ecosystem, a whole government system that will meet on that. Some of these things are statutory. They are laws already. Kebbi woman arrested for kidnapping friend's son for 5 million naira. The Kebbi State Police Command has arrested a 25-year-old woman, Mariam Mohammed, for allegedly abducting her friend's 4-year-old son, Abdulmumini Suraju, and demanding a 5 million naira ransom from his family. A security analyst, Zagazola Makama, in a post on X on Monday, said the boy was declared missing on November 26, 2025. He stated that shortly after the child's disappearance, his father received a call from an unknown female voice insisting on the 5 million naira payment for his release. According to him, police detectives who launched a manhunt traced the number to Mohammed. He wrote, "The victim Abdulmumini Suraju went missing on November 26, 2025. Later that day, the father received a call from an unknown female voice demanding a ransom of 5 million naira. Police detectives traced the call and identified the caller as Mariam Mohammed, 25, a married woman from the same area. She was said to have been arrested and she also reportedly confessed to the abduction." One injured in clashes over the post Osun monarch's burial rites. Controversies over the burial rites for the 30th hour of Igbajo, Oba Adegboyega Famodun, turned violent on Monday as those opposed to the observance of royal passage rites clashed with supporters seeking to honor the deceased. The fracas occurred inside Iloro Market in Igbajo, leaving one man identified simply as Ifako injured, while 2 others reportedly sustained bruises. The Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke imposed a 24-hour curfew on Igbajo amid protest following the death of Oba Famodun. A statement signed by Prince Adekunle Famodun on behalf of the family, obtained in Osogbo on Sunday, confirmed that Famodun passed away on Friday, November 28, 2025, after a brief illness at the age of 67. As you may recall, Oba Adegboyega Famodun was installed and presented with the staff of office on November 24, 2022 by the former governor of Osun State, Alhaji Adegboyega Oyetola. Although his position was disputed by a white paper issued by Governor Ademola Adeleke, the Osun State High Court reinstated him on January 30, 2025, the statement partly read. Before his appointment as monarch, Oba Famodun had served as the Osun State chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Lead contamination. Ogun targets 500 residents for poisoning tests. No fewer than 500 factory workers, suppliers, and residents living around battery recycling plants in Ogijo area of Ogun State are set to undergo tests for possibly lead poisoning. The state government announced that the test, which will be free for all participants, follows the November 18, 2025 report by the New York Times, which alleged widespread lead contamination linked to recycling factories operating in the community. Speaking on TV Continental flagship program, Your View on Monday, the Ogun State Commissioner for Environment, Ola Oresanya, said the government intends to expand the scope of testing far beyond what the newspaper reported. For the lead issue, we conducted an investigation and discovered soil contamination We gave the operators a moratorium that ended in June this year. Everyone signed an agreement to complete the installation of pollution abatement devices, specifically the automation of battery braking processes by that deadline, he said. Sports. CAF Under 15. Nigeria eyes semi-final spot in crucial Benin clash. Nigeria's Under 15 boys will attempt to revive their CAF Schools Football Championships campaign when they face Benin on today, in Ouagadougou, with a semi-final place still within reach despite their opening defeat to Ivory Coast. The young Nigerians began their WAFU B zonal qualifiers with a 4-1 loss to the Ivorians on Monday, a result that immediately increased the stakes ahead of their second and final group match. The competition, taking place at the stage 2-4 out, features teams from the Burkina Faso, Ghana, Niger, Ivory Coast, Benin, and Nigeria in the boys category, with Group A comprising Burkina Faso, Ghana, and Niger, while Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and Benin form Group B. Although both male and female events are taking place this week, Nigeria are only represented in the boys tournament. Coach Oluwaseun Oyeniyi's side, drawn from 5 secondary schools across Kaduna, Enugu, Jalingo, Ogwashi, Uku, and Ido Ekiti, arrived in Ouagadougou on Saturday after traveling through Lagos and Abidjan. The 19-man squad, which includes pupils from Government Basic Education School, Government Junior Secondary School, Ada-Igbo Secondary School, National Grammar School, and Ekiti Parapor College, settled at Hotel Splendid ahead of the opening group fixtures. The Tigers walked tightrope in World Cup qualifiers. After the first 3 games of 2027 FIBA World Cup qualifiers, Nigeria's The Tigers are already in a difficult situation with 2 defeats and 1 win, leaving them third in the group with 3 matches left to play in the first phase. It all began with an 88-78 overtime defeat at the hands of host Tunisia last Thursday, before Guinea also secured their first ever win over Nigeria, beating them 69-55 on Saturday. Their only win was recorded in their most recent game against Rwanda, thanks to Maurice Udese's 30 points, the highest by any player at window 1 of the qualifiers. Nigeria beat the Rwandans 75-69 in overtime to end their first win. Head coach Abdurrahman Mohamed admitted Udese's impact on the win. I don't want to take some of the credit away from other guys, but if Maurice Udese, wasn't here, I don't know where we would have been. We gave him a role and he embraced it, he told FIBA. Entertainment. I arrested lady who secretly filmed me at the gym, Nkechi Blessing. Nollywood actress Nkechi Blessing Sunday has revealed that she arrested the woman behind the viral gym video that sparked a wave of online mockery and body shaming earlier this year. The actress, who appeared on the now trending episode of the Honest Brunch podcast, shared on the host platform's Instagram handle, spoke extensively about the incident and how she traced the woman responsible for secretly filming her during a workout session. In the clip, Blessing expressed anger over the violation of her privacy, explaining that she had requested information from the gym but was ignored. Eyewitness hid her information from me. I found her. I got her arrested, of course, she said, adding that she was determined to hold the woman accountable. Before addressing the arrest, the actress defended her natural body and criticized those who body shamed her after the unflattering video surfaced. I'm okay with Mr. Easy being friends with his exes, Temi Ajibade. Temi Ajibade, fashion enthusiast and wife of singer Mr. Easy, has expressed her views on her husband's interactions with his ex-girlfriends, emphasizing that she has no issues with him being friendly with them as long as boundaries are respected. Speaking on the show, Alpha Temi Ajibade drew a clear line between being polite and overstepping, stating that simple gestures like birthday wishes are acceptable, but monitoring social media or liking pictures is where she feels uncomfortable. You can be nice to the person, like push them a nice happy birthday text, but when you start liking their pictures online, monitoring their status or uploads, that's being too extra. I'll have no personal issues with my husband if he's friendly with his exes, especially when the breakup wasn't messy, Temi said. Recap of the major headlines. Honorable Adewale calls for stronger protection against tech-enabled gender-based violence. KOA reaches out to widows in Ifako. Abduction surge. Northern governors demand mining suspension. Unveiled 228 billion naira security fund. Tinubu plans replacement as defense minister resigns. Adeleke dumps PDP. Blames party's national crisis. Sports. CAF under 15. Nigeria eyes semi-final spot in crucial Benin clash. The Tigers walk tightrope in World Cup qualifiers. Entertainment. I arrested lady who secretly filmed me at the gym. Nkechi Blessing. I'm okay with Mr. Easy being friends with his exes. Temi Ajibade. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call our WhatsApp 091 2222 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. Thanks for watching. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a victorious Tuesday. God bless Ifako.